Good morning. This is Mr. Mike from Hopewell United Methodist Church here in Chesterfield, Virginia, with our children's message today. Before we get started on the story, I have a question I want to ask. Have you guys ever seen someone and right away you know who that person is? Or you see somebody and you don't have a clue who it is? Let me show you some pictures here. Do we know who that is? Everybody knows Spider-Man. We'll put him up here on our board today. How about this guy? Right away, I know who that is. It's Superman. High flying. We'll put him over there with Spider-Man. Now, who is that? Right away, you see this person and you know it's Batman. I'm Batman. We're gonna put Batman over here with Spider-Man and Superman. Now, do you know who this is? I don't. You probably don't either. We'll put him over here on this side of the board. Oh, wait a minute. This guy? I don't know. Who is it? Oh, wait, here. How about this guy? He's kind of cool looking, with his sunglasses on. I don't know who it is. Do you? I don't have a clue. We're going to put him over here on this side. So we have two different sections here. One section, the superheroes, right away we know who those guys are. We don't even have to think about it. Over here, I don't know. Well, our story's kind of like that today with Jesus and his disciples. And Jesus is talking with his disciples, and he asks his disciples, he says, "Who do the people say that I am?" Well, they started naming off these different prophets and stuff, that had died years ago. Jeremiah, they think you're Jeremiah. They think you're Elijah or John the Baptist. Those are people that had already passed away. And they thought that maybe Jesus was one of those people, had come back to life. But they really weren't sure. So Jesus asked them, he says, "Who do you say I am?" He asked his disciples this question. And right away, Peter speaks up and he goes, "You're the Messiah." Now, that would be the promised one, the sent one, that God was going to send to help Israel and bring Israel and his people back to God, into his arms in love. Peter said right away, "You're the Christ, the Son of God, the Messiah." Well, then Jesus looks at Peter and he goes, "Peter, you're blessed, because that has not been told to you by another man, but by God in heaven. He has revealed this to you." Now, he goes on to tell Peter, he says, "Upon you, this rock, Peter, I will build my church." And with Jesus' teachings and his disciples taking his message out into the world, here we are today. And I'm up here at my church. house of God. So, it's interesting because Jesus tells his disciples at the end of this story, he says, don't tell anybody that I am the Christ. And, Jesus, he says some things sometimes, and I think, why would he say something like that? I mean, why not go and say, hey, I got great news, guys. This is the Messiah. Well, you see, it wasn't revealed to Peter like that. Another man didn't tell Peter that. God told him that. And that's kind of the way that we need to come to Jesus, is we need to let Jesus into our heart and listen to him and let him speak to us. It's always good to tell people about Jesus, but the real work is going to really begin when they take Jesus into their heart and accept him as their Savior. That's when it's going to end. And that's when it's going to begin. And I have one more picture for you here. Now, we've got superhero side. We all know who they are. These guys side, I'm not sure who they are. I have this picture of Jesus. And this is a picture that, people think that Jesus might have looked like, because they didn't have cameras back in those days, so they didn't take a picture and left it for us to look at. So I'm going to put this picture up here, kind of right in the middle between these guys and the superheroes. I think he belongs over there on the superhero side. That's where I think he belongs. Well, it was good having you join me today, and I was glad to bring you this message. And if you don't go to our church, but you're viewing this, welcome. It's good to see you today. And remember, Jesus, he is the Messiah. He is the Son of God. Look, I want you guys to have a blessed week and do good things for other people. We're going to leave the crime fighting to these guys, right? Especially Batman, because he looks real serious, and evidently crime fighting is a serious business. We're going to leave it to the superheroes, and those superheroes that are our police officers. Tell them you love them, thank them for the jobs they're doing. But Jesus wants us to go out and bring peace, joy, and love to the world. That's what we're going to do. You do some of that this week. Thanks again for joining me. God bless, and have a great week.